Today we're going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings. Coming into week 5, power rankings had them at number 2. Broncos were number 1. Broncos lost to Atlanta, and the Vikings beat Houston 31-13. Now overall, the Vikings have almost a dead last offense stat-wise, what they do and what they're capable of. The number one thing they do, they protect, secure the ball. They do not give the ball away. So you can have a mediocre or average offense. You don't give the ball away, you protect the ball. Monster defense, everybody knows defense wins championships. 85 Bears. Baltimore Ravens, the first ring. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just a few examples. Defense wins championships. Now, I know some people are going to say Denver has the best defense. Seattle has the best defense. Philadelphia has the best defense. I'm going to break down 4 categories. And when your team leads in these 4 defensive categories, you have the number 1 defense in the NFL. First category. Minnesota gives up 12.6 points per game. Seattle through 4 weeks, they're in the bye week. 4 weeks, they give up 13.5 points per game. Philadelphia through 4 weeks, they had the bye week last week or the week before that. They give up 12.75 points per game. Minnesota gives up 12.6. They have the best defense when it comes to points allowed. Second category. Yards per play the defense gives up. Minnesota gives up 4.4 yards per play. Seattle, 4.5. Denver, 4.6. Minnesota gives up the least amount of yards per play. Second category, they're number 1 in the NFL. 3, sacks. Denver has 19 sacks. Minnesota also has 19 sacks, tied for first. That's 3 categories. They're number 1 defensively. The 4th, and probably the most crucial, takeaways. Minnesota has 7 interceptions, 5 fumble recoveries. That's 12 takeaways. They've only given the ball away 1 time. That's 11 takeaway difference. 4th category, they're number 1 at. When your defense leads in takeaways, leads in sacks, leads in yards per play given up, and points per game given up, you have the number 1 defense. Now, I know some people are going to say they didn't play nobody. They played the Titans. They were down by 10 points. A little rusty first game. They came back and they won. Now they're going to say Carolina, oh, Cam's not the same Cam. I mean, as far as I know, he still get paid the same amount as the MVP Cam did last year. Carolina, through 3 weeks with 2 losses, were still in the top 10. Minnesota came to their house down by 10 points. Reigning MVP, they sacked him 8 times. They annihilated Carolina in their own house, down by 10 points, came back, and you know the rest. They played Green Bay. Now the excuse for all the analysts out there, ESPN, NFL Network, Aaron Rodgers is not the same Aaron Rodgers. Cam is not the same Cam. You know what they both have in common? They played the Minnesota Vikings defense. They beat the Giants 24-10. The whole story was nothing about what Minnesota's doing, the defense. Rhodes shutting down Odell Beckham, the whole story was Odell Beckham, Odell this, he's the headline, he's a distraction. Do you see what they have in common? They played the Minnesota Vikings defense. Houston, same story. I know they're going to say a whole bunch of stuff. At the same time, I don't think Osweiler's worth the 70-some million they gave him the contract for. But what do they all have in common? They played the Minnesota Vikings defense. Now, this is through 5 weeks. The record doesn't lie. Defensive stats don't lie. Minnesota is the #1 team. #1 defense. Hands down. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you week 7. Vikings got a bye week, week 6. Let's see what Philadelphia is all about.